Hi there, my name is Jessica and I am a Bictagon Nishnodig and I am an artist and beater, and I decided to create this video because I would like to help future artists, young indigenous artists, and when I first started out I was probably in my 30s and I wished that there was a video like this to help me along. I just learned on my own. This is what I find works best for me. It doesn't necessarily mean this works best for everybody, and there's no real traditional way to do this, and I'm just sharing in hopes that I can help future young artists, or even, like I said, I didn't start doing this until I was in my 30s, and it would have been helpful for me. All I did was teach myself this and learn from trial and error. So here it goes. I'm going to teach you how to make your own cabochon necklace, and this is just my style from beginning to end, right? From creating the cabochon, to putting leather, to doing the edging, to making the necklace. And yeah, they turn out pretty cool, and I just thought that it would be nice to share with y'all. So I get, where do I get my product from? I get my product off of Amazon. I don't live in a community that has, pardon the puppies in the background, I have 3 Frenched-in puppies, and they're maniacs, and I can't do nothing about it, sorry. So once in a while you'll get a little, yeah, excuse me. Anyways, my product. So I get my Glass Cabachon blanks off of Amazon. Like I said, I'm in a community that I don't have access to cabochons without ordering them online, and sometimes that can be actually kind of on the expensive side. So I just decided that it would be best for me to get my product, create my own, and then I can do whatever image I wish. You can get these in assorted sizes off Amazon. This is a 1.5 inch. The one on the necklace is a 2-inch. I prefer the 2-inch. Anywhere, and then smaller to earring sizes and whatever you like, or pin sizes. Once you have the cabochon, you can do whatever you want with it. So, let's see. From beginning to end, I use just my iPad. I use the Excel program, and I use the Excel program because you can create more on a sheet and waste less space on your sheet. And then it's pretty easy. You just tap on the block, go to image, insert image in cell. Choose from photos. I use my photos. And voila, just like that, you have yourself an image in your cabochon chart. I like to space them out a little bit because then it's easier when I cut them to put them on and whatever. So, and then also to just figure out your size, all you have to do is just adjust your cell size to figure out what size it has to be for your cabochon that you're printing for. I also print out tests on paper first, and that way I don't waste my photo paper. So once I have the paper figured out, then I test it on, or I print it out on the photo paper. I like using photo paper because it gives a better glossy finish underneath the resin, and yeah, so just print it out, cut it out, and I'll do a black one because in that way it's easier for you to see. I'll do one of each so you can. So I like to use resin and UV light because it gives a quick harden, and your cabochon doesn't have the chance to float around. You can use E6000 glue if that's what you have access to. I just find that if you use too much glue, it can float while it's drying, and sometimes it doesn't completely, it'll move off the image center where you like it. I like using UV because it's an instant harden, and you don't have to muck around with hoping that it stays on top of your image. So I'll zoom in a bit here so you can see it a little better. This is another thing that you can just get off Amazon, which I got off Amazon. Just cheap. It's some of them come with kits with UV lamps, and some of them just come with resin if you already have a UV lamp. And yeah, again, not that expensive. The one I seen one of the kits on there where it was UV resin and a pen lamp for like $14. So it's a good way to get started. I keep a chamois cloth on me so I can clean the cabochon. And here we go. I'll give you a quick example. So you only need like a pea-sized drop, so you don't need very much. Don't worry about the bubbles will be pushed out. And then you just drop your cabochon on your resin, give it a push so it goes to all the edges. Make sure your image is center, and throw it in the UV. Pretty quick. Just a heads up, if you were to put drops on this one to start the next one, that UV still affects what you're working on. So I just do it for a couple of seconds if I'm doing a couple of them at a time, because once it's got a couple of seconds on it, it's already hardened enough that it's not moving anywhere. So here I'll show you again. Just take a pea-size drop on your image. Polish your cabochon, make sure there's no dust or dirt on it. Drop it on the resin. Give it a push, move it around a little bit to move out the bubbles. Make sure it's center on your image. Toss it in the UV. And then, yeah, so I do that for about 90 seconds because I want to make sure that the resin is completely cured. And then the next steps we'll do is we will glue them down on film. And there's your base for your start of your cabochon necklace. I'll show you how I do that as well, and the product that I get off of that. For that as well. I'm going to take out the black one because I know that one's done. I also like doing it this way because I get my product quicker. I don't have to wait for hours for it to dry. I don't have very much patience. And I like doing these necklaces because it gives me more of an instant gratification because you see your product quicker. And voila, just like that, you have your own glass cabochon. Well, that one is finishing up. Oh, it's done. Cut that one out as well. Okay. Voila. So my next steps is to putting it on vellum. Now, vellum is another product, like I said, that you can also buy off Amazon. I get the stiff felt 2mm DIY project stuff. Not very expensive again. It depends on where you are and how much it costs you. So, and then another thing is people like to use E6000. Again, it's a product that I used before, but for one, I don't like the smell of it, and for two, it takes so long to dry. For three, when I found gluing cabachons on vellum, on felt, it would sometimes just soak right through and not even glue. So I prefer to use Gorilla Glue. Like this stuff I got, it's a Gorilla construction adhesive, so it's really pasty. It doesn't take very long to dry at all, and it has no smell for some reason. So yeah, non-foaming, low odor, no smell. And I like it because it doesn't soak through the felt, it just sticks to the felt. So I'll start out with, we'll do a white one. I like to use, I got these circle maker kind of things off of Amazon as well, or you can get them at Michael's or kind of any art store or whatever. And I like to use them because it gives me my shape. I don't have to guess if I cut too close or cut too far. Usually I find that a good, you know, I guess that would be about an inch around the cabochon. Gives me lots of space to do the beadwork I like. So I'll just literally measure out as close to try and not waste as much as I can. I'll use just a pen. To trace out my circle. And I'll cut out my circle. I probably should have made this video when my dogs were having a nap. God, 3 of them. I got 3 puppies. They're just about 6 months old. Maybe I'll show you what they look like in a bit, so you can understand the chaos in the house. So anyways, just like that. And then, like I said, this Gorilla Glue construction adhesive is what I like to use. Literally no odor. Like, this stuff doesn't smell at all. And just put a good dollop on it and see how it's like, it's pasty. So it really, really does work. It sticks really well. This stuff you can glue down glass and tile, and like it's a construction adhesive. And then I just kind of smear it around, cover the whole cabochon, place it where I want it, give it a good firm press. And yeah, just to wipe them off, I just use baby wipes. They seem to work the best. And just like that, that sucker is not going anywhere. Like I said, it doesn't take very long to dry. And once they're on there, they are not, they don't budge. Because sometimes I find too with that E6000 that your edges doesn't get really done, and then if it does get to your edges, it hardens that felt really bad, and it gets hard to put a needle through. This stuff, it's not going anywhere. Anyways, I will continue on to a part 2 video, and hope this part helped you out. And again, sorry for the puppy distraction in the back. Hi, treat me rich. Talk soon.